Hello, welcome to this video, which is going to be a quick reality reminder for those of us who are sort of at that alchemist's level in their conscious life, living with an awareness of their impact on reality, on things like shifting your reality and in your responsible sovereign role in creating your reality as well. So for those of us who understand those kinds of jobs and exercises and purposes, this video is for you and me. As always, I make these videos as a point of sharing and teaching of my own to sort of hash out things that I'm doing in my own world while simultaneously sharing with others. If you're new here, welcome, thank you. My name is Allie with Marie Speaks. And if you are not new, then thank you so much for checking out the video here. I am really hoping to reach those who have been sort of following along with the energetic system series, among other things that I've talked about on my channel with shadow work and spiritual discernment. Today's reality reminder is going to be about the purpose and importance of keeping these amazing epiphanies, these blessings and gifts, miracles to ourselves and within ourselves. There is a huge energetic potentiality that charges up in positive systems, and when you start to offer service in a free way, you will feel it, and we all feel it. And when you get that way and good things happen, good things are attracted to happening to you because you have this sort of pulsation of gratitude, of happiness, of contentment, all these different wonderful high vibration feelings that we work on through, shadow work, light and shadow work. The beautiful thing, right, is the changes that we feel, the shifts that we feel. But it's so important and also very hard for most of us. And I am even an introvert. I'm not really extroverted. I've never been like a socialite kind of person, and whenever I have been more in social circles and in settings like that, I always have had a bit of an uncomfortability. But even for people like me who are a bit more introverted, I still have a seeking and a calling and a desire to share out the wonderful repercussions and changes and shifts that I feel in my own world. And especially with those in my direct world, when you start to make these corrections in your life and you feel the sort of domino effect that happens of positivity and of new opportunities, things that feel better experiences and ideas, we want to share them, especially with those in our direct lives. Not only because we want them to know what we're doing and be proud of us and value what we value, but also because we want them to feel good about their lives and to feel as good as we feel. Because there's something extra special about that charged momentum feeling of doing good work when it's ignited around others who are on the same level and who feel and recognize their multidimensionality, their energetic life, their light, their love. There's a deeper reverence and that's possible when we have others around us who are high vibration as well, versus the differences that we feel when we're around others who are low vibrational. All of those sort of things, they come with wanting commonalities. They come with wanting sharing, exchanging, right, for them to value what we value. And in there lies a deeper layer of work for us as alchemists, for work for us understanding where our level of influence really lies at and where our domain of change and impact really is, and whether or not we are infringing on others, right, becomes the next understanding and working for this level. And trying to be conscious of if you are infringing on someone else's sovereign space. And that infringement, even though you're trying to share something great that happened or share a good connection that you've made, that is still something their reality bubble and their consciousness isn't ready for or isn't in need of at this moment, because it's not happening to them already. Right? Everything happens in divine timing for each one of us. Every one of us has a live action role, choose your own adventure kind of thing happening that has much to do with already what their walk up to the present moment is. And we don't know these things. Even if you know the person directly, even if you see them every day and they're your intimate partner even, you have to realize and know and accept the inner world is something private and is something that we should not be infringing on or poking into or seeking to pry apart and stick our face into another's inner world. Because would you want someone doing that to you? If you want to share with them, you open up and you share with them, right? You don't need them pulling in to areas that, you're maybe not ready to share, right? This is the kind of thinking and lessons that have come behind this sort of reality shifting lesson that I really am trying to share here. Keeping our gifts and our blessings and our epiphanies and our miracles to ourselves is a way of honoring them also, because we see the sacred importance and the personal references, sort of the inside joke with us and the creator, or us, you and the universe, elementals, fairies, whatever, your higher self, those in spirit, ancestors. Feel free to enliven the multidimensionality of this reality with whatever beings and all beings that you can and want to incorporate, because you will find conversations and transactions with those. But again, those things are private. Those are for you. Those are meant for you. And others, yes, they have their own, but they should be left to explore and uncover their own at their own time when they are called for it. Because when we start to overshare or desire to share, then it's almost can become an egotistical, ungrateful sort of incorporation with whatever blessings and lessons that you have been receiving. And that can really backfire inside, because that is the shadow stealing the lesson from the light, kind of over amplifying the pieces that it wants to gain more shadow and more negative energy, and then use it in an egotistical way to share on a pillar and act like some kind of savior or some kind of expert, where you are telling others the correct way to do something or the correct way to view a thing. When in fact all should be free to do and see however we want, because in free-flowing, positively aligned systems, communications, interactions, and perceptions of things are allowed at all angles. There isn't a hierarchy of directionality that forces you to only ask questions in a certain way or forces you to receive information from top down and just accept it. There's a huge allowance and an encouragement even of questioning and asking in all directions. Doesn't matter whether the person appears to be above or below you, when we work in positive ways, because we understand we're all one, and it's all for the higher good. So yes, important reality reminders. Keep your blessing to yourself. Keep these miracles and epiphanies inside of you, like seeds, and allow them, we're not to forget them, and not to, I'm not saying we don't share them or keep them to yourselves in a kind of negative way. I mean them in a very positive way, like bury them within you and allow them to sprout roots, encourage them to grow, check on them, see what kind of fruit or flower, is blossoming out of those things inside of you. And those fruits and flowers that come out of all of that, that's where the true teaching is at. That's when you can pluck them and offer food to someone or offer a beautiful flower, and they will appreciate it. They'll understand it because there's simplicity in that natural birthing of that, right? That creation, that knowledge, and it's easy to share with another because it's it's already the truth, you know. Sometimes what happens is we get these lessons, epiphanies, or miracles, and when we're first, even at a wonderful, aware kind of alchemist level, you're still getting things through your own filter. There is shadow, there's infringements and distortions happening. And when we receive these wonderful things that we do deserve and that we've worked for, if we immediately jump to share, if we immediately jump to teach out and speak out about it, we are losing the magic that we actually can get by just sitting with that thing for quite a while. Minutes, hours, days, weeks. Each piece of information and different thing is different in the amount of time that you need to sit with that. But sitting in the receivership of the thing and seeing on your own what comes up and what that new incorporation brings in the inner system for you, right, is so important. It's kind of like getting a new puzzle piece to a masterpiece in your heart center, right? And you get this new piece, and you're like, yes, I've been waiting for this piece that goes in the corner here. And in the corner there becomes the scene that you knew was kind of going to be there. And if you just go out and go to somebody else, a friend, whoever is your person to share, or on a video or whatever, and you're like, hey, this corner here, I just got this, and look at this. What you're doing, you're kind of losing momentum because you're tainting that great positive new piece with a negative debt-based intention here with energetics, because the need to share comes from the desire of external confirmation, for others to see it as worthy, right? For others to tell us it is, and that we are. And that external seeking is a distortion, because we should really rely on the internal knowing before we ever step out to offer things externally to others. See where lies in the rub? It's like a teacher who just learns to tie their shoe. A little kid who just learns to tie his shoe the first time. That very first time that he ties his shoe, can he really go to another sibling and start teaching them how to do it? He can, and maybe you should, but they should be in the space of a student still, not a teacher. Don't act like a master of shoe tying when you've done it once or twice. But be a student and help the other maybe to learn, but don't act like you have the big picture yet. When we come at it acting like a shoe tying master, you are losing all of those other great teaching points that you could be gaining when you go to do it again and again and again. Because instead of learning with that next child and refining your skills and really getting into how to do that again for yourself as well, and maybe if they have a question, you say, oh, I'm not sure, let's figure it out together. Or, oh, what do you think? Let's try it this way and then that way, I'm not sure. If instead you're like, oh, just do it this way. It's loop, shoop, and pull. That's it. That's the way that's it. That's how we do it. You're denying yourself any new learning in there. And you're actually becoming a really false, fake teacher because you're not a master and you never were. But you're pretending like you are on this one thing that you have there. Same thing with the puzzle piece in the picture, you know. It might just be a beautiful picture that you want to share out. But first, take that puzzle piece into you and sit inside yourself with that masterpiece. Look at it for quite a while and appreciate, that came together like this. Take time on your own as another other in there to look at other perspectives of it, to watch it for a while, to get what you can, to let those things really seep in before you ever go to try to offer out to another. Then you're setting yourself up for a more positive alignment, because you're allowing your inner system to really incorporate those lessons, blessings, the gifts, to really feel gratitude completely, to let it soak in and let it turn into acceptance, let it be incorporated into base truth for you for a while. Because sometimes blessings, epiphanies, miracles, they are so amazing, they are so out of nowhere, could never be planned, or seem so synchronistic and divine, that we want, you want to have somebody else to see it and to say, yeah, that did happen, that's amazing. But really, us sitting with the knowing of that and being quiet about it and holding that thank you until it's turned into something new for you. And I can't say what that will be, because each time and each thing is very, very different. But if you take the time to bring these things inwards and spend, an allotted amount of time to feeling grateful and to letting them settle within you. Then you build a great charge and momentum of positivity around you too. And you can do much better sharing. You can do much more honest, positive work and service in the real world with that new knowledge that you have. So yes, it can be hard, and it can seem like, oh, especially when great things start to work. And if you're going along with my energetic system series and you've been through working on your Taurus and in the external and internal systems and getting good responses and repercussions from course correcting and fixing your alignment, you know, it can feel so exciting and adventurous. You want to go out and share. You want to document all of the things that are happening. But we remind ourselves the true documentation, the real absorption is here in the organic. It is in the mind-body-spirit complex. And there's such layers in there. It is infinite within there. And to allow each of those three, each of the bosses, all to incorporate the information and to see and let it trickle down into workers and managers within yourself before trying to explain and share anything, I think is one of the biggest learning curves and lessons that I've really come about to through all this kind of energetic alchemy work. And here, yeah, I'm sharing out. And again, this is lessons and workings from my own self. I'm trying to be an honest student and teacher here on my platform and with my videos in my own life by not jumping always to sharing things, spending good time on information that I feel is thick, diverse, but also taking time to be honest in my sharing with things that I feel are prevalent, to the present moment. And so being as clear and as honest as I can when I do quick little pop-up videos like this, and being transparent in them, and also when I do take time for planning, and I have really put an effort into something more of like an educational discussion lecture type of video that I do, being very transparent with myself and with viewers about the effort and intentions that I put into that as well. I feel like that's a good way to keep myself in honest, positively aligned role as I seek to teach and learn here. And so yes, I have been experiencing so many wonderful gifts and so many alignments, things that I couldn't even have dreamt to sort of fall and come into play together in the ways that they have in the last year, and even in the last very short period of time, like the last 2 or 3 months, and even since the eclipse. It's been a whole real new starts in very tangible ways, and this has been my chance to share my newest lesson, which is, yes, I don't have to go and give direct examples all the time, and I don't have to blurt out and open up private direct things to prove anything to anyone, or even to prove them to myself, because in the all-importance, it's all about incorporating it into my own self and acknowledging the truth of receivership and the fact that I am worthy and I do deserve these things, as we all do. Each one of us does, right? Because we are those fractal pieces of God's source. So yes, I'm going to leave it there. This has been relatively quick for me. I know it's an almost 20-minute video, but if you're not new here, then that's me cutting it short. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to this little reality reminder that not only am I facing, but I'm hoping to share with others who are out there and who might also be a little fooled or tangled up in these sort of promotional versions out there that are very much involved in influencing and sharing and documenting their journey, their ascension journeys, all of the sort of blessings or the manifesting things that they've done. Sometimes we can see those out there like Hollywood sort of billboards and flashings, like marketing, and we think, oh, it's so, why do they have that and we don't, or whatever. But it's so important to just understand that those things actually have a negative overall alignment, because they are being promoted and sponsored out there in that collective reflective area. And we don't belong out there, right? That the external world is nowhere that we don't have a dominion of influence out there as an individual. That's a collective space. So we just pull back, into your direct world and find the dominion in your own world and take charge in there, where you do have a full scope and range of influence and power to make different choices, to think differently, right? So hopefully we can all stay on it and keep every day, every present moment, making these choices to be the full alchemist that we can, right? No matter how difficult or invigorating it can be, right? Thank you so much again for listening and joining me here today. And I hope to check you next time in the near future. Perhaps I'll be doing a couple more of these little reality reminders in the near future. So thank you for listening this morning, and I'll see you next time.